Day in the life of a future 8-figure multi-millionaire. Day 40 of making 100K before the end of the year. I finally started getting some traction.
Hustle culture is corrupting children. Did you know that there are child entrepreneur influencers? I barely knew there were child influencers. I just thought there were a lot of influencers that were trying to get children. Dr. Disrespect. But first, come and see me live. I'm touring the UK, 3 countries. We've got London, we've got Scotland, and we just added Ireland.
While my friends are out getting drunk.
We've all seen the Instagram videos of people saying, you have to wake up at 5 a.m. If you don't wake up at 5 a.m., you're a lazy loser. And if you have a job, you're an even bigger loser. And you have to chase your dream. And by dream, I mean you have to do social media marketing for other businesses, scam them out of thousands of dollars and return no value on the product and then get the next client. That's the dream, dude. And then post a video of you wearing a rented Rolex in an Airbnb mansion that you don't own. Escape the rat race, bro. Pay $5,000 for a cleaning fee in an Airbnb. Is there anything worse than dudes who have an iPhone 15 so they just start pretending they're famous? It's like, bro, if I go to the gym and if I read a book in the morning and if I have a cold shower, I'm going to be a billionaire. There's a little bit more to it than that, mate. At least the American influencers are pretending to be rich in a city like LA, you know what I mean, where actual rich people live. In Australia, our poor fake millionaire influencers have to take a $99 Jetstar flight to the Gold Coast to hang out with middling OnlyFans models to pretend they're rich. It's very sad. And I didn't hit record on my fucking camera again. Why have I started doing that recently? That's so fucking stupid. Didn't hit record on the other camera. I've been talking to it for fucking 30 minutes and I did this last week. Fuck! You know what? One thing's for sure. All these child influencers are a lot smarter than I am. Today, we're talking about child entrepreneur, influencer, hustle culture, poisoned kids on Instagram that are posting daily vlogs of them trying to make hundreds of thousands of dollars while still in school, while having no business acumen whatsoever, while also not making a dollar.
Ever wonder what it's like to multitask school, business, and social life? This is a day in the life of a 14-year-old trying to make $100,000 before the end of the year.
Have a look at this clip from this poor kid called Charlie, who is really just trying to emulate what he thinks a successful businessman is and is doing, but just seems to be giving himself a terrible life.
I constantly have this feeling where I'm like, if I stop working for just a second, it's all going to collapse. And that's kind of it, in a sense that if you keep working every single day, you're going to keep compounding and you're never going to miss a lucky day.
This poor kid, and I mean poor in that I feel sorry for him, but I also mean it because the kid hasn't made any money at all.
And we're still at $0 made.
I feel so sorry for him because he's just explained what an anxiety disorder is, but then he's kind of interpreted it as an epiphany that he's had. Like, I've had a vision from God, and he told me that if I don't do 50 push-ups every morning, I'm a piece of shit.
It's all gonna collapse.
This kid's gonna have a heart attack at like 17. You know, most adults who work themselves to death like this end up going out of like a brain hemorrhage at 45. This kid's he's gonna be hospitalized with stress by 17 before he even finishes high school.
Every time I focus on one problem, it just feels like the other ones are getting what? Balancing school and business is definitely tough. And sometimes I just feel like I'm constantly staying at the same place.
Some kids are out there enjoying their childhood, experiencing the wonders of youth with no responsibilities, making friends and learning how to be an adult. Not me. I'm looking at spreadsheets and pulling my own hair out because I'm not a millionaire by 16.
I did also have an argument with my parents because they think that I'm being unrealistic and I'm just like wasting my childhood.
Trust me, dude, I say this with so much love and I don't want any hate sent towards these kids because I just think they're being influenced by adults that they don't understand. Enjoy it. Enjoy your life. Like, you don't have to be a millionaire. $1 million is not going to make you happy. I have a very successful business and I've been doing this since I was young, since I was 18. And the one thing that has made me happy over everything else is my health, which I destroyed by working so hard and working through an illness that I just ignored. It's my health and it's my peace. Those are the two things that have made me happier than all of the money that I've made, which has come and ebbed and flowed. But the one thing that I've managed to maintain is my peace and my health. And those are so much more important than, I don't know, showing off a Rolex that you rented. Enjoy your life, okay? Be a kid. There's nothing wrong with going out and seeing Despicable Me 4. You might even giggle. You know? Like, you might even have a good time. Just think about that. There's nothing wrong with seeing a Steve Carell movie where he interacts with big fat yellow blobs and they go, yibby dibby dibby. This guy is destroying his youth and pulling his own hair out to have a job that's comparable with any number of 35-year-old office workers that fucking hate their life.
Banana.
Go and see the movie, dude. Spreadsheets are not going to be core memories for you. But it's not just Charlie. We found this other girl who's 17. She's been doing this for years. Here's a video of her literally kind of saying that she's graduated from having fun with friends her age. Look at this. It's so sad. Oh, that one actually hits me in my soul because I actually know what she's trying to emulate. You've all seen these videos. They go viral and they are quite inspirational a lot of the time. It's usually like an alcoholic posting videos of themselves from 3 years ago going nuts in a nightclub, and then a couple years into the future, the present, they're going for runs and they're living a happy life. And a child might see that and go, I need to stop hanging out with my teenage friends and going to the movies. But an adult sees that and knows that that guy is not saying you shouldn't go to nightclubs. That guy's saying, I used to be a terrible alcoholic and I used to sniff so much coke up my nose that I actually destroyed the lining between my two nostrils and now I just have one nostril. And if I keep doing coke, I'm going to have an aneurysm in a nightclub bathroom and that's how I'll die. So instead, I go for a run in the morning. Like, that's the inspirational bit. They quit the drugs and the alcohol, not they quit hanging out with their friends. Like, that's the important context that a child would miss, all right? Nightclubs aren't fun because they've got smoke machines. They're fun because everyone there has coke. Now, we are going to return to these child influencers, but to understand them better, we got to go back to where it started. And it all started with one man, one of the most hated men on social media. You see them all the time, and you used to see them even more previously when they first started coming out. I, of course, am not talking about Andrew Tate. No, I'm talking about Ty Lopez.
Here in my garage, new Lamborghini here. It's fun to drive up here in the Hollywood Hills. But you know what I like a lot more than materialistic things? Knowledge.
Here in my garage. Remember that YouTube ad? It played before every single YouTube video. Here in my garage.
Garage.
You know something crazy about that? He came out and said that not only was the Lamborghini rented, but all the books behind the Lamborghini that he was claiming to have read, he hadn't read any of them. He just skimmed through them. Like, the guy didn't own the car and hadn't read a single book. And now we've got 17-year-old girls going, sorry, I can't hang out, Sarah. I have to look at analytics and have anxiety. You know, I just had an epiphany about all of this. And no, the epiphany is not, if I stop working hard, I'm gay and everyone in my family will die. The epiphany is this toxic hustle culture that all of these teen boys are posting about and are doing to themselves. It's kind of like eating disorders for teen girls, right? Teen girls would see all of these heavily photoshopped, heavily dieted celebrities with cosmetic surgery and personal trainers, and they would starve themselves. And these teen girls would see it and go, if I don't look like that, I'm worth nothing. So they would starve themselves and have bulimia and end up really harming their bodies and their minds and their souls to try and emulate something that's not even real in the first place and unachievable. Or maybe the actor looked like that for 30 seconds on screen under lights after not eating for 2 days. That's exactly what all these teen boys are doing. They're looking at all of these like millionaire pseudo hustlers on Instagram flexing shit that they don't even own, talking about business moves that they haven't even made. And now all these teen boys are going, if I don't have the watch, if I don't have the Lamborghini, if I don't have the mansion, if I don't have the 6 figures a month business that comes through without me doing anything because it's all passive income, then I'm worth nothing. And they're doing all of this incredible harm to their bodies, their minds, and their souls, trying to emulate something that's not even real. Damn, that was so deep, dude. He's spitting facts, bro. That's what all the comments are saying right now. They're timestamping and going, dude, I can't believe that that Lewis has such a deep mind, dude. He just totally gets it. He sees stuff that I don't. We're all thinking it, but he's saying it. Comedian who says N-word on stage. We're all thinking it, but he actually says it.
The problem is, I used to think that I had time, but the truth is, I don't.
Here's the thing about Ty Lopez, though. He doesn't really run a business. Like, he kind of sells courses on how to run businesses, which is, it is a business, but it's not going to teach you how to run a business that isn't a business that teaches you how to run a business. That's what all of these fucking business people do. They just teach you how to run a business, but none of them run a business other than a business that teaches you how to run a business. If that's all we do in this fucking economy, the whole world's gonna end. Does anyone make houses? Does anyone make fucking bricks? No, everyone just teaches everyone how to make $1 million by starting a business on how to fucking teach other people how to start a business that teaches you how to start a business. It's a fucking fake job. Yes, I also have a fake job, but at least I'm making people laugh. I'm not teaching you how to recreate my course from the ground up. Anyway, guys, support me on Patreon for a business on for a guide on how to start a business on how to start a business. Another guy I like to look at is Grant Cardone, who's basically just like a big landlord. He's like, you know the best way to make money? This is my favorite clip of his. He goes, the best way to make money? What you need to do is buy an apartment building with 10 units in it and then raise the rent. Oh, what a good idea.
This is where people should start. You should start with 32 units. That is the perfect number. The rents are 1,000. You raise them to 1,200. You'll make $1.2 million on that deal as soon as you move the rents without doing anything.
Buy a building, raise the rent. I'm a millionaire now. How the fuck do you buy a building, Grant? Where are you getting the money for that? Let's start a little bit lower. I'm living in poverty and I can't afford to pay my electricity bill. We've been using the frame of my bed to burn wood to keep us warm, to stop, because my mother's lost fingers from frostbite and now she can't even sew. Please, Grant, how do I make money? Yeah, what you want to do is buy an apartment building. And you look at all those poor motherfuckers living in that building and you raise the rent. And then you've got Grant Cardone's daughter who went crazy viral for this incredible TikTok.
My video was, I'm going to become a millionaire by the time that I'm 20, and here's how.
I'm going to be a millionaire before I'm 20, and this is how.
And then obviously I went into how I work at my dad's business, and people started clipping the video, and they're like, oh, that'll do it. That'll do it.
Yeah, of course you're going to be a millionaire before you're 20. Your dad's Grant Cardone. Doesn't he own 600 apartment buildings that he's raising the rent on? You don't need a plan. Like, all you have to do is watch your dad get on a plane, cross your fingers, and then you'll be a millionaire. I'm sure she works hard, and I'm sure she's very smart, but accessing the resources of your multi-million-dollar father is not the same as coming from nothing and becoming a millionaire, which is so unbelievably rare and unlikely that you can actually see literally hundreds of thousands of kids attempt to do it in real time on Instagram Reels and fail.
I own an agency, and for that, we got like 0 clients, and the retainers from the last clients, they stopped in February. So for my agency, I made 0.
Don't get me wrong, okay? I'm not saying that you shouldn't be working hard, okay? I've been running my own business since I was 18 years old, okay? I've been an independent business owner, getting on flights all year and running my own business and making as much money as I can and having employees and going through the ups and downs and dealing with health and family and all that type of stuff while that's all going on, right? I am one of these hustlers, if I may. But none of my success has to do with waking up at 5 a.m. and doing push-ups instead of seeing my friends. I have a healthy relationship with my friends. I see my family all the time. I have leisure time. In fact, I used to actively avoid sleeping, actively avoid having leisure time, actively avoid having fun or having time off. And you know what it did? Didn't make me more productive. It just fucking sent me insane. Like, you actually need rest, recuperation, and yes, believe it or not, fun to run a successful business or to be a successfully creative person, especially if you want to create art. You got to put stuff into your brain to be able to spit stuff out of your brain, and those things are life experiences that you need to go out and enjoy without the stress of, oh, I should be at home editing TikToks or I'm not going to make $100,000 this year. Relax. It's just a spreadsheet. It'll be ready for you when you're home. Your mum's going to die. You should see it.
Oh, jeez.
It's true. What? Am I wrong?
It's true. Yeah.
Your mum's gonna die. Get off the fucking spreadsheet app.
It's 6:43 a.m. right now, Sunday morning. Everyone I know is just in their bed, cozy, sleeping, and I'm just here working on my new theme pages.
All of these kids are obviously following the same script or the same rules that all of these other adult hustlers are posting about. They all do the same thing. They all get up at 5 a.m. and then they have a cold shower, and then they sit down and they meditate. And then after they meditate, they read 15 pages of a non-fiction book. And after they do that, they go to the gym and they go for a run. And then I assume they have to go to school where they sit there mindless, exhausted, stressed, absolutely out of their brains on just, oh my God, I shouldn't be at school. I should be at home hustling. That they probably don't learn anything or experience any meaningful connection with their peers. And then they go home and they start the whole cycle again of like, I need to start reaching out to clients. I need to start creating value. I need to start, producing economic output. And it's like, dude, just be 15. It's all right. You have so much time. And I'm not saying that you should not work and you should not have discipline. What I am saying is spending, 3 hours before school just exhausting yourself trying to live up to some unrealistic daily routine morning habit standard that is actually not benefiting you in any way, it's just making you more stressed and exhausted, isn't going to make you a millionaire. You know what might make you a millionaire? Figuring out what your actual passion is. And no, it's not making money. Your passion is not working hard and becoming the most productive, financially successful person on earth. That's not a goal. That's a number in an imaginary bank balance that a version of you that you've invented might have, but won't if the only thing you're trying to do is make money. That's not real. Making money is not a dream. Making money is not a goal. That's nothing. If you're not passionate about what you do, if you're not excited to go out there and do it, whether or not you're making money, you probably won't make it. All right? If I didn't love comedy, I wouldn't have survived the 4 or 5 years where I was dirt poor, but working just as hard, if not harder than I am now. If you can't love what you're doing when you're broke and it's not working, it probably won't work. How's that for inspirational? All right. Honestly, one of my favorite quotes about being hyper productive and recovering from this toxic hustle shit is actually from MrBeast. All right. He said this on a podcast and it made me go, ugh. He goes, I'm only ever doing 2 things: being productive and resting. And resting includes having fun. Because if you're just burning the candle at both ends and then going to bed and then waking up and burning the candle at both ends and then going to bed, you're not actually resting. You're just collapsing from exhaustion and then waking up. And take it from me, as someone who lived for 5 years without sleeping, almost literally, all right? I had chronic sleep apnea. I had horrific sleep habits and health. And even when I did sleep with a healthy schedule, I suffocated and then woke up feeling worse, all right? I'm a guy who knows what it feels like to be exhausted. Now that I actually sleep well and that I'm on the other side of that, and I've actually realized the importance of sleep and rest and recovery and having fun and hanging out and doing nothing, I have become so much more productive. I haven't missed a single podcast episode. I've done the biggest tour that I've ever done in Australia, and I'm only halfway through because I'm going to tour 3 countries in the UK, and I've just gotten started. All right? And I have never rested this much in my whole career, and it's going great and it's working. You have so much time, and what you should be doing to create the most successful business or the most successful dream or to make the most amount of money doing something that you love is not worrying about not being productive. It should actually be designing a life that you are excited to be living. And that's the one that you're living now, not the one that you will live in 20 years if you become a multimillionaire. What are you doing now? What are the decisions that you are doing now that are enabling you to live the best life that you can? And I'm not saying don't work hard, and I'm not saying you won't go through periods of like 6 months where you don't have very much fun. I'm saying that it comes with balance. And without balance, you're just going to have anxiety for the rest of your life and a mental breakdown because you didn't make $20 million by the time you were 19. All right? I love the spirit, kids. I love the enthusiasm. But for God's sake, go and see Despicable Me 4. You'll probably have a giggle, and that's okay.
Banana.
Subscribe. Talk soon.
Wow. What an amazing speech. I loved hearing that. That's made me reconsider my life. I'm going to change, and I'm going to do the thing that I love for the rest of my life. I love being horny. I'm going to be horny as a profession.